Happy Monday, everyone. We got through today. I tell you, it was rough, but we got through. It was a hard weekend. I actually was under the weather a whole lot. That's not like me. I'm never, ever sick. But this weekend I was. But you guys, I really have to weigh in on this Chris Rock and Will Smith whole mess. I'm really shocked. But then in my mind, I keep thinking about, I don't know if everybody really expected it to go different. I guess nobody expected Will Smith to do that. We've had Will Smith on this pedestal, and he's not going to do anything to hurt someone or mess with someone. But then at the same time, you going to let somebody really make jokes about your wife? And then I heard so many people say, well, it was a comedian, like you're at a comedian thing, the comedian tells jokes, and I was like, oh, but even if a comedian tells a joke, okay, you guys, so you guys go to the comedy show, and a comedian's telling jokes about your wife, or females, you're at the comedian show, and the comedian continuously tells jokes about your spouse, or boyfriend, girlfriend, vice versa. Are you really just going to be like, his continuously, and I know most people's like, oh, I'm just going to laugh it off because eventually going to move on. I'm not saying they won't eventually move on, but will you take it? Everybody has had this thing, well, I would have just took it. I wouldn't have said nothing. Now, hear me when I say this. I hear you now. I hear you saying that now, but if it was in the heat of the moment, would you still say that? I'm just saying. Because I know me, as a therapist, what I witness and view all the time, people are going to pop off. Now, and the reason I'm viewing, because even my students today were asking me, Miss Blaney, what did you think? Did you see it? And in my mind, I was like, how did y'all see it? But I guess it was on the Oscars, so people do watch the Oscars. But I have to tell you guys, I was really shocked when the kids were saying, like, he was just so wrong. He shouldn't have done that. I'm not saying he should have done that, but do you not think his actions were validated, or do you not think his actions he just should have stood there and took it? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I have to honestly say, do I think his actions were right? No. But do I think he validated them? Yeah. But then, does that mean you can get away with it? No. Does that mean you still have to apologize? Yeah. But, I just really don't understand. Like, we put this whole thing on a black man, and how we're always saying how black men need to protect their kids, their families, they need to stand up. Well, when you see one do it, did you not like it? Did you not think that the reaction was going to be that? I know I keep answering a question with a question, but I really don't think society has really weighed in. And I saw one person talk about, this other counselor was talking about abuse and growing up in cultural, ethnic society and families and stuff. And don't get me wrong, I get that much. But if anybody has read Will Smith's book, if anybody understands his upbringing, it don't surprise me in what he did. It don't surprise me in how he reacted. When we think about a lot of that people go through under the age of 18, their adverse childhood experiences are over the top. And sometimes that stuff comes out and carries out as adults. Is it right? No, but it happens. It comes out. Now, I want to be a person that says that I act right at all times in every situation, and sometimes I don't. That's why how I say God is still working on me. But I just know if it had been my family and my house, I know for a fact how my husband would have acted. Especially as someone who has alopecia as well, I know how my husband would have acted. And I know everybody's saying, well, now we know she has alopecia. I'm going to be honest with you guys. That's a sensitive topic and subject for females, but especially an African-American female. Irregardless of who you are and what stature of life you're at, it's still a tough and hard subject and something to deal with. And I'm going to be honest with you. You don't know how you'd act in situations like this unless you are in them. You are actually put in a situation like that. I hear what everybody is saying, but until you're actually in it and living it, I really don't want to hear what a lot of people have to say. I mean, everybody's opinions is everybody's opinions. Just like my opinion is my opinion. But I really sometimes don't really think we get sometimes into the heads of people, in the mind of someone. No one knows what someone is actually really thinking. Only that individual. So I always tell people, when people say, oh, I know them well. Do you? You really do? You can really say that? Because you really don't. You only know what they allow you to see and get to know. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that some people don't know people. I'm far from saying that. But we really, truly don't know an individual because we don't know their mind. We don't know their thinking process. We do not know how an individual really acts until they're put in situations that would cause for them to react. That's just my opinion. But I really don't ever sit around and tell somebody, oh, I know them and I know how they're going to act. No, I don't. I really hope and pray that society really graces Will and really, forgives him. I've already seen a lot of apology statements. Once again, I do believe they're genuine. But who really knows but that individual and how they really think and feel. Sometimes I've always been told that I really don't think people care about something until they get caught. I really don't think people want to acknowledge apologies until they have to. But then I'm not saying that for Will Smith, but then who knows? Only he truly knows. Only him and the Lord truly know his heart. But I do know that don't put people in predicaments and don't ever think they're not going to react. Like I said, I know for a fact my husband would not have taken that. But that's just my man. I just know my man. Now, I don't know. My husband could surprise me and being laughing away and keep it moving like you knew you were coming to this. This is possible that could have happened. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't see that ever happening with my house. So let me just say, violence is never the answer. We always say that we want to do something different. And, sometimes I think people are pushed and we don't know how far he was pushed yesterday. We don't know exactly everything an individual faced or had to deal with yesterday. You do not know what people went through up to the point that happened that made them snap. I'm not saying, once again, that it's right. I'm not saying that, once again, he can justify that because, he did owe Chris Rock an apology. Will Smith really owed him an apology. But like I said, don't push people to a point that don't expect no reaction. And I see it every day as an educator. These kids will fight and some will just cry. But when you push people to the limit, you might see a side of them you don't want to see. That's just my opinion, how I say. This was a convo. Welcome to a conversation with Shishi. She is back and she is coming back strong. Hope you had a great